Season preview for the 2025-2026 Utah Jazz. This is the projected starting five for the Utah Jazz for this upcoming season. Isaiah Collier, Keontae George, Ace Bailey, Lauri Markkanen, and Walker Kessler. The main goals for the Jazz this upcoming season are definitely going to be to secure a top 5 pick. They had some of the worst odds, if not the worst, last year, but ended up dropping outside of the top 4. They want to make sure that they really get a top pick this year, but it all comes down to how the lottery balls fall at the end of the day. Also, they want to continue to develop these young players that are on the team through trading away players like Colin Sexton, John Collins, and waiving Jordan Clarkson. They've opened up a little bit of space and time for these players to really spread their wings and show what they can do. Now, when we're talking about the draft capital that the Jazz have for this upcoming season, they have their own first-round pick, which actually has the potential to be swapped with either Cleveland or Minnesota if it falls outside the top 8, which I don't think it will, to be completely honest with you. Upcoming free agents. So, as far as the upcoming free agents for the Jazz, the main one to focus on is definitely going to be Walker Kessler, who's going to be a restricted free agent after the season. Then there's also Georges Niang, who they had recently traded for, KJ Martin, and Kevin Love. Out of these players, the only player that I think that they would bring back really is Walker Kessler. It's going to be interesting to see how his season goes with a contract season coming up. Extension eligible players. Speaking of which, Walker Kessler is going to be eligible for an extension going into this next season. So it'll be interesting if the Jazz do that to give peace of mind and so that teams aren't just calling trying to trade for him like they have been for the last 2 years, it seems like. Other extension-eligible players are Jusuf Nurkic and Georges Niang, neither of which are getting an extension. Let's keep it a buck. Trade block candidates. Now, when it comes to the trade block candidates, the biggest one that comes to mind is obviously Lauri Markkanen. He has a fat contract, yeah. So I think that's really the main thing preventing him from getting traded. But at the same time, he's also been the face of the franchise for the last few years. I know that there's a bunch of teams around the NBA that are probably eyeing him and may put up what it takes to get a player like him back. There's also Georges Niang, who they recently traded for, that a team that's a contender may want to trade for him because he can really shoot that thing. Jusuf Nurkic, man, every team that's had this guy has had a really hard time trading him. So he probably is just going to run out the rest of his contract. But if someone really desperately needs some big man minutes, they may trade for him, but I don't really see it. And then there's Kevin Love, who there was talks about him potentially just getting waived, signing with a contender, whether that's going back to Cleveland or Miami or somewhere else. But knowing Danny Ainge, he'll probably try to exhaust as far as he can, trying to trade these players and get something back first before just waiving them and letting them go for nothing, like he did with Jordan Clarkson. Because he tried to trade Jordan Clarkson for a long time before that. Breakout candidate, player of the year. So for the breakout candidate, I'm going to go with Keontae George. Like I said, because they opened up some space in the backcourt, trading Colin Sexton, waiving Jordan Clarkson, it really opens up a time for these young guards to really show what they can do. And I think Keontae George has shown some of the flashes that he can be really good as a starting shooting guard in this league. So I want to see what he can do, and I think he will do just that. So I have the Utah Jazz as the number 28 team in the NBA this upcoming season.